Okay, here we go. And let's try not to bump the camera this time. We should clean our glasses. So hello, friend. I am very glad that you're here today. It's a beautiful day, a little hot, which, as a safety person, I'm reminded to keep hydrated, keep cool. If you're outdoors, make sure you're wearing sunscreen. I'm going to start with asking a couple questions because I'm curious. If you were to design your very own Tranquil garden, think about this for a second. If you could design your own experience, your own space, your own garden, what elements would you choose to incorporate into that garden? And where would you place them? Where would you put those specific elements? And in the past, we talked about miniaturization, taking mountains and making them into boulders, taking rivers and the sea and making a small creek or a pond. And what mindful contemplation or seasonal awareness would you want to experience as you immerse yourself in a garden like this? Various emotions or contemplation or self-awareness can come into play, all of which are important in the philosophies. So welcome to Brick Therapy. Today we're going to continue building our Lego Tranquil garden. We're going to get into bag number 9. We'll see how far we get with that. And I'm going to share two more philosophies as we continue building. One of which is mindful contemplation. What does that mean? How does it fit within a space such as this? And also seasonal awareness. Both are very important in the design, but also the experience. These principles found within some very unique and special spaces. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'm glad to have you with me on this journey. If you're new to the channel, welcome. This is certainly something that I enjoy doing myself and also sharing with others. My name is Todd. I'm a certified workplace safety specialist. What does that mean? Well, over the years, I've earned, I guess you would call it a master's level degree in compliance when it comes to workplace safety. No, I do not work for OSHA, but I use a lot of OSHA's guidelines in my work to help educate, motivate, and inspire others to create safe workplaces, and at the same time exploring cost savings, because accidents are expensive. And if you're not prepared, or if you're just going with the flow, then that can be very, I don't want to say dangerous, but it opens the doors for accidents if you're not preparing for something to happen. Now, in that time, I've also traveled all over the country And I've worked with hundreds of companies. I would say thousands of safety professionals to look at their workplaces, identify areas that are going great, as well as areas that need a little bit of work. One of the more interesting elements in this safety journey that I've been on is listening to stories. We as human beings, we like stories. We like learning about what is happening at company XYZ. And if an accident has happened, or even worse, a fatality, what can we learn from that? What can we benefit from in trying to make sure we reduce and prevent accidents? The other part of my job that I enjoy in visiting other places, meeting other people, is learning that, we're all in this together. In some way, shape, or form, we use our training, we watch out for each other, and we make a difference in the lives of the employees who depend on us, as well as the companies that we work for. As I said, accidents are expensive. So working to reduce those accidents saves the company money. It allows a company then to grow, expand, add benefits, raises. If an accident happens, it could mean a reduced workforce. Somebody has to then wear more hats than they typically have in order to get a job done on time and under budget. So I've really enjoyed this career choice that I've made 30 years ago. A commitment. And as part of the ROCK's philosophy that I've created, remember our commitment to keep safe, remembering the past, learning from our mistakes or from those who've gone before us, making a commitment, our commitment, not mine, not yours, but it's our commitment to use our training, watch out for each other, in order to keep safe for the future. Call it a legacy, call it what you will. It is our commitment working together to help keep safe for the next generation or even the next shift, so that they can do their jobs to the best of their ability. So, book smarts, with the certifications, the courses I've taken, the classes I've participated in, reading through various OSHA manuals and guidelines, as well as then the field experience, the site surveys, the hazard analysis, the training, is streetwise. So a little bit of one, a little bit of the other, bringing it together to form a career that helps companies. And that's very satisfying. It is not all rainbows and roses. Sometimes there are situations where you have to face reality, such as an accident or a fatality. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Again, glad to have you here. Now, from the instructions, we're already up to step 100, 103. If time allows, maybe we'll get into bag 10, but let's continue building and sharing a couple of these philosophies. Now, let me make sure I've got the right here. I got that one. We've got this one. Oh, we need 3 of these. I'm going to place those in the front of our pond area. Okay. Moving on. Oh, I think we've reached a visitor. Now, I don't know if you can see this little frog, but he's sitting on a rock. It's grayish in color, so we'll say this is a sort of statue and not a real frog. 1, 2, 3. And that frog is going to go right here. So if somebody is looking from this direction, they can see a frog. And as we talked about in a previous episode, symbolism is important within a tranquil garden. What symbols would you want to have experienced in your garden? 2 of these, and we will need 1 of these. Winding pathways, subtle elevation, sounds, and reflections invite us to experience a meditation, healing, Zen, Japanese, however you want to call it. Experience this type of garden and experience aspects of our own life. And it's done with different perspectives. Not only visually, but audibly. Maybe even the sense of smell. Through the various seasons, plants grow and change. Could be feeling the wind. Vision is only one of our 5 senses: sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell. So to incorporate many of these, if not all of them, in a tranquil garden can be very contemplative, which it brings us to our first philosophy of 2 today. What is the philosophy that's centered around mindful contemplation? Well, many tranquil gardens are purposely designed to be centrative. Maybe contemplative is a better word. And these are spaces that block out the external or the outside world and they center a visitor inward. It's a small, defined space, yet it has purpose and it has meaning for each element. And those are things that the designer purposely does. It encourages us to press that pause button in life. And do you know kind of what I'm talking about? There's that pause button to stop and think not only where you are currently, but where do you want to go? Maybe you're stressed, maybe you're hurting, and a healing garden could provide some solace into the self-reflection or mindful contemplation, pushing aside the world around us and allowing you just to focus on you, taking in that garden and all that it is meant to be. So by pressing pause on life and slowing down, reflecting, connecting with nature, it creates almost a deeper level. Yes, it is a philosophy. It's more than just an afternoon hike through the woods. The intention is purposeful, it's meaningful, and it creates a sense of calm. It's peaceful, it's immersive, and yes, it's meditative. So back to my original question. If you could design your own tranquil garden, what elements would you choose to experience? And I invite you to leave a comment, leave a story down below. I'd love to hear your answer and to read how you would create a tranquil garden. We're creating a rock face. These. One of these. The rock face is going to go along this edge here as part of our pond motif. Now, what's the second element that's incorporated into a tranquil garden? Well, what is the philosophy around seasonal awareness? Good question. Gardens are natural. There's plant life. There's natural elements such as wood and stone, gravel, water. And in many parts of the world, the seasons change. So in the summertime, this might be a babbling brook that empties into a pond. In the winter, it could be frozen. Now, I am not a fan, not a knowledge person on fish, but there are some fish like koi that will survive in deep areas of a pond even though it's frozen over. Or maybe the owner of the garden puts them indoors in a special aquarium, which is good to know. It's a good thing. Fish are friends, not food. Sorry, I couldn't resist. That's just too funny. Okay, we have this element, and we also have this element. So we are creating, again, this rocky facade along our garden space. And a cheese slope. Yes, that is the technical term for this piece here. It is a 1x1 with, now correct me if I'm wrong, Lego fans, is that 45 degrees? Is it 30 degrees? I'm going to say it is a cheese slope, and that's what they're asking us to put here. Now, level that off. And this will go into our garden like so. Are we covering up a fish? Uh-oh. No, we're not. We don't want to cover up the fish. Oh no. All right, where are we at? We're talking about seasonal awareness, all right? Gardens are designed to be experienced around the changing seasons. And during different times of year, this can be reflected in the carefully manicured landscapes. Specific plants are chosen to showcase different colors and textures throughout the year. A blanket of snow could create another visual contemplation. Fall colors, the spring dew early in the morning. All of that is part of a specific design intended by the designer. So having those seasonal changes is an important part. Oh, we need this one. We also need 2 of these. Oh, is that the right shape? Nope, this is the right shape to put this one on top of it. I had that right. There we go. That is going to go here. Or here. Ah. Aha. Okay. This will be set like so. In that spot right there. And then we build the other side with this featured on this side. I'm not doing something right here, am I? Look at the instructions. Follow carefully. This one goes Ha-ha. That way. Uh-huh. 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 Bingo. Thank you. So we have our rock face in front of our pond. We have little steps. I'll tip this over so you can see some steps that lead down to a pathway that wanders here. And then we're going to build a bridge. Build a bridge! Now I cheated and I pre-built this because I was just excited earlier as I was working on my outline to do this bridge, and I thought it would be a fun little pre-build. So we start with the two sides. We have our center element, and then we're going to place this into the bridge on this side. Snap both into place. Now, pardon my hands, but I'm going to bend this other side and click this into place there. So we now have the beginnings of our bridge. And then we will snap this side into here. We'll put the center there, and the other side will snap there. And straighten that out. And do the same thing on this side. Another area that I like about seasonal awareness, and it being deliberate, the designer, through years of study and observation, in incorporating elements of nature, does this on purpose. They know because they've studied how seasons change and the way trees will grow and be carefully pruned to incorporate those into the environment. They're familiar with various types of wood materials so that as a structure seasonally changes, the coloring of the wood may change. Teak, redwood, pine, oak, all have different properties when exposed to elements of nature. Even rocks, that one part of the year may look very light in color, but when wet, could have a different color and different textures. Grasses, flowers. It's just fascinating. The more I've researched into what the philosophies of tranquil gardens are, I thought, how can I relate this to safety? But really, how I'm learning for myself. And I have really enjoyed this process so far. Not just the building part of it, but also the philosophy. Here we have some architectural elements. Lanterns. Many of these are made out of stone, again to withstand the elements, and then candles are inserted, or maybe they are designed to be lit from inside automatically, like with fuel or clean burning gas. Let's see where we're going to put one of these. I think one of those is going to go right here. Where's my... Yes, we'll put one of those right here. We'll put another one here. In this part of the garden. And we'll build a few more of these. Aha! Where did you go? There you are. So let's see. Do we want to put one? Let's see. We have our end of our bridge here, and then this comes over. So we're going to put them right there. We have a base. We have a lid. And we have a top. So that's 1, 2, 3. Let's put one over here. There's a base, a center, a lid, and a top. And then let's see. Want to illuminate our path. So we'll put another one right here. This base, middle, a top. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Foundation for our tea house. Ooh, trees. Let's see, with trees, I know the designer of this set had specific places to put these trees, but I may put a little bit in random. So let's see, we have 1 out and 2 over. Looks like a good spot there. And then we're going to put another couple over here. I don't want to put them exactly at the edge. So we're going to move them in just a little bit. We'll put one here and another one right here. The nice thing about Lego is you can move things around all over the place. How we build these trees. We have a base. We have a trunk. This goes in there like that, and that one goes like that. Let's put one here by our frog. Interesting. Here we go. Where did our frog go? Boy, I'm just knocking stuff all over the place here, aren't I? frog. Ribbit, ribbit. There he is. Found you. We're going to set this frog right here. So I want people to see our frog. Okay. We have trees. Oh, we have 2 more trees. So what is it about these visual shifts in the color and the foliage? How does it affect the viewer's experience through spring, summer, fall, winter? I guess that's one of the mysteries of contemplation. Everybody has their own experience. There's no perfect experience, and the experience may change over time. They say things are best in threes. I'd like to put this one right here next to the water. Maybe its roots are feeding off of the now we have elements for our foundation to set the tea house. I like how the contrast of wood between the water line and the post is a dark brown and a light brown. Hello, trees. We're gonna put you in later. Step 9 will conclude with us attaching the tea house onto our set. Make it officially part of this build project. All right, I'm ready. Are you ready? Base. one. Ah, it overlaps a little bit. Nice. Oh, that's cool. So it overlaps just a little bit, and then we can adjust these posts slightly to match our garden. We're going to put that lamp here. There we go, there, and there. Did that go another tree? Did go another tree. And then the roof section fits like this. And snaps into place. I'm going to give this a little spin. Let's move our helpers out of the way here. Extra pieces. There's another tree. So we're going to turn this, and if you're looking from this angle, the creek goes under the bridge and into the pond. The pond has various elements of fish and lanterns. As we continue to turn this around, our tea house over here opens up, and then the path walks down some rocks to this winding path over the bridge, and then around the garden and through here. Absolutely fantastic. So we are going to put a tree there. We're going to set another tree over here. One right there. There we go. And then let's add another tree here, but not exactly next to each other. Let's make it a little cattywampus. Imperfection. And then over here, we have another tree. The second tree. And our last one will go here along the water. Right there. So, a few pieces left over, which is fine. And that concludes bag 9. Our Japanese or Zen or meditation or healing or tranquil garden is coming along very nice. There's a garden somewhere out there created just for you. When the going gets rough, take time to cultivate peace of mind, body, and a healing spirit. When it comes to safety in our changing workplace, we're all in this together. We're changing the world, one accident at a time. That's how we learn. That's how we remember our commitment to keep safe. Next time we'll build bag 10, and I'll share another philosophy of natural materials. I invite you to like, subscribe, and share this episode. Also, please leave a suggestion, a comment, a critique, or ask a question, as you wish. My name is Todd. I am a certified safety specialist, an adult fan of Lego, or AFOL, as it's known in the community. Thank you for joining me on this journey through a tranquil garden. Until next time, happy building.